Happy Friday, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, the Big Vanilla Poppy, and this is your Friday edition of The Breaks here on Infinity TV. Y'all sit tight because I got a dope show for y'all coming up today. NBA All-Star Weekend and Breaks University. I got some good news over there going with you guys with the college football playoff format, and then we are going to talk a little bit of NFL where I'm going to do something new here called VJ's Rapid Fire. Y'all sit back, man, for your Friday edition of The Breaks.
These
are
the
breaks.
These are the breaks. You know what it is.
Welcome back, guys. Friday edition of The Breaks. VJ Vernon Husky, Big Vanilla Funny. We ain't got a lot of stuff to say to bring the show in, so let's get right to it, man. Let's get to the meat and potatoes right here. We're going to do a little something different this week. I'm going to start with Fast Break this week because just this past weekend we had the NBA All-Star Game, if you want to call it that, because there's guys that don't get in, guys that get in because somebody get hurt or get suspended, guys that should be in that don't get in, guys that average a certain amount of points, a certain amount of rebounds don't get in, somebody averages lower than them, they get in. It's crazy the way they do it nowadays, but they did play this game and drew around 5.5 million viewers. In comparison to the Monday Daytona 500, it was rained out on Sunday. They had to race it on Monday. They drew 5.9 on a Monday for a 4.5-hour NASCAR race over the All-Star Game that had television all to itself on Sunday. A lot I want to just unwrap here a little bit, man. Something called unique viewers for some reason had it ranked up at 11.6 million viewers, and that's over TNT, TBS, Bleacher Report on Max. So whatever that's worth too. But let's get to the actual game and why this is the way it is and what's happening here. And Adam Silver, quick sidebar. Adam Silver, brother, you have no business being a commissioner of a professional league. You cannot let the inmates run the asylum. And that's what you've allowed to happen, starting with Mr. Big Narcissist, got to control everything, Mr. LeBron James. He's already sold out his, so we know that. That's already gone. That's why he's able to make a lot of these moves. And you followed right in, weakening the league, softening the league. You look pathetic trying to give out the trophy at the end of the All-Star Game and the MVP award, stuttering, choking over your word. Did you need some water? Did you need some water in that long gooseneck of yours? Come on, man. You're killing it. You and LeBron are killing the league. And this is why the All-Star Game is what it is. Now on to the game. Players, you got to do better than this. You got to do better than this. When you have Dr. J and you have Joe Dumars, two-time NBA champion, finals MVP, JoJo Dumars, also a champion as a VP of basketball operations for the 04 Pistons, JoJo Dumars. And you got Larry Legend, Larry Bird from Fritz Link, Indiana, the baddest white boy we've ever seen. I don't care who you try to name. The baddest white boy we've ever seen in NBA history, who I think is a top 7, 6 player, depending upon what area you're talking to and who you're talking to. But he's got to come talk to you. JoJo got to come talk to you. Dr. J got to come talk to you to get you guys to play competitively. Are you serious right now, NBA? And you wonder why you're being outdrawn by sitcoms. You're being outdrawn by cooking show series. People are binge watching more on Netflix and streaming services more than they ever have. Why you think they stuck the NBA and some other live sports too? Hockey, NFL's also over there too. But there's a lot of NBA to stream because that's where eyes are. Guys, there people aren't even on YouTube TV looking for you, NBA. Players, you got to do better than this. 3/4 length shots, lazy ass defense, no competition at all. And yeah, go ahead and call me to get off the lawn guy. I am a little bit older, and I do want you off my damn lawn. You weren't out there in the hot ass sun out here in Los Angeles working on your lawn all day on a Saturday sweating. Nobody bring you no lemonade, no turkey sandwich, no orange slices, nothing. Just out there with a Gatorade from the gas station. Bye-bye. You want hours, so hell yeah, so get off my grass. Absolutely. Y'all young buckaroos, little young mushmouths, y'all don't get that part of it. And they think the league is good. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Now, with all that being said, I have a solution how this can be fixed. I think you are at the point now with the All-Star Game that it's just got to go. The players actually look like they were trying to sabotage the game. Like some of the shots, some of the play, come on, you got to be kidding me. And miss me with the, you old guys are always talking about how it used to be. Well, damn it, if you lived back then, you would understand exactly what the hell we're saying. You would understand that even Jordan in his late years, man, was hitting the baseline jump shot, the high arcing bottom of the net when Allen Iverson came and gave him the chest bump and Jordan cracked up laughing because who's ever jump chest bump Michael Jordan? When have you ever seen Michael Jordan jump body high five as everybody does it in every sport now? Everybody's got to jump and clash their bodies together, jump shot. No one ever did that to Michael Jordan until the answer, Bubba Chuck. Allen Iverson did it in the All-Star game because it was competitive down the stretch. You want to go back to the Philly game where Kobe won MVP and it's coming down the stretch and him and Stephon Starbury going back and forth, him and Kidd going back, Starbury and Kidd going back and forth down the clutch trying to win the game. Like you guys have killed the game. Don't get mad at us because we're old enough to remember when you really kind of worked just Sunday evening after Valentine's Day around the NBA All-Star Game. The reason why the All-Star Game touches with me, real quick story, my older brother Dennis is the first person that ever showed me a basketball game. I'm coming up the stairs in our old house in Franconia, Virginia. He pops his head out the bedroom door. He goes, "Hey, V, come here." I go in there. My brother had this vanilla and black and white TV that sat on the floor in the corner. You know, back in the day, kids lay on their stomach like this and they flick their feet behind them or cross their legs stuff and watch TV on the floor. So I get down. I'm like, "What do we watch?" He goes, "This is called the NBA All-Star Game." I said, "It's just a regular basketball game?" He said, "Yeah, but it's with all the best players in the league." That's the first live basketball game I ever watched in my life, and that's a true story. That's why the All-Star Game meant something to me. And in that game, it was Isaiah, Moses Malone, Bird, Magic, Kareem. I'm watching my introduction to live basketball was watching the greats of the greats of the greats of the greats, and some of the legends and icons play a game together. Competitively, actually run a little pick and roll, actually, the cut to the basket, backdoor, try to block a shot. Y'all remember the days of Mourning and Zoe, Shaq and Mutombo, Shaq and Robinson, Shaq and Olajuwon going out in the All-Star game? Like, it was real. Yeah, you have a little fun in the first quarter. Yeah, you get the crowd hype with some alley-oops and stuff and some fast break dunks, some 360s, some windmills, things of that nature. All right, cool. But by the halftime and going into the third quarter, it gets a little more serious. Don't you want that pride? Not only that I'm better than you, my team's better than your team. Oh, but not only that, my conference is better than your conference. Y'all don't care about that no more, AFC, NFC? Y'all don't care about that no more, the AL, NL? Y'all don't care about that more than the Western Conference, Eastern Conference? Like, that should matter. It used to matter. I'm better. Not only is my team better than your team over there in other conference, we better than you conference to conference. Look at the NFL real fast. The NFC and the AFC, what's the better conference, guys? That's not hard. What's the better conference right now? What's the harder conference right now? Well, you got to go through Big Red in 15. You got to go through Burrow. Justin Herbert got Jimmy Burgers out here in L.A. now. Dolphins and Tua. MVP, two-time MVP. Baltimore quarterback with Harbaugh's the head coach. Lamar Jackson. You got a lot to go through in the AFC. Pittsburgh's always going to be good. Cleveland looks like they're better now. Houston went to the playoffs this year. The Colts will be better next year when Anthony Richards come back. There's got to be a pride there. Then we go to the Pro Bowl or even the flag game, we want to kick y'all ass. Because now we ain't, season's over, but it's AFC versus anytime you put the uniform on and you're matched up with other guys, going against other guys, it should be competition. So scrap it and do some type of 3-on-3 tournament. Let players pick who they want to play for in a 3-on-3 tournament, like hoop it up. Old school, hoop it up. Bring it to All-Star Weekend. Y'all go back and look at the rules. I'm done with this topic, man. You see how it used to go. You from the DMV like me, you know all about 3-on-3 hoop it up tournaments. Take it to that. Take the All-Star game away. Keep everything else. Shout out to my man, Matt McClung, a.k.a. Opie Dunks. I call him Opie Dunks. Opie Dunks? Twice? Come on, man. Y'all can't have that. Y'all can't let a G Leaguer come out dunk y'all. That cannot, and he legitimately outdunked y'all. It wasn't favoritism. The judges tried to rob him. No, and I was calling it, watching it live on Martin and VJ Fox Sports Radio Saturday. We're in the studio. We got on 3 teams. I'm watching them like, listen, they're going to overrate these other dunks. They're going to make this kid have to go get this thing. And he jumped over Shaq without touching him. I don't mind guys jumping over guys, but when I see your hand go down and lift you up over a guy, the dunk disqualifies for me as far as, he jumped over a guy. No, he didn't. He pushed up off a guy. Matt McClung, a.k.a. Opie Dunks. That's my nickname. Don't y'all steal it. That's how you do it. Do a 3-on-3 hoop it up style tournament. Let players pick who they want to play with. 6 teams, something like that, and just work it through games to 9, games to 7. Something quick, nothing big. Everything 1. 3-pointers are just 1 point. Everything's 1 point. But that way you can still give the fans something, get the fans something fun, and save All-Star Weekend. Adam Silver, you suck. All right, man, that's it for the breaks right there as far as fast break goes. When we come back, we're going to get into university breaks. Hey, college football playoff format, NCAA football coming out in 2024. I told y'all this the Kobe year. Sports is going to be great. Y'all sit tight, man. We'll talk about that when we come back here Friday edition of The Breaks. The Breaks.
Hey everyone, I'm Neko Gumike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Infanity Television.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chanel Gwimike, and you're watching Infanity Television. Boom.
Shout out Infanity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
All right, what's up, everybody? We're back here on your Friday edition of the Breaks. VJ Vernon Husky. Also, too, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, our social media website there, and Fanity TV. And then you can also catch me, the Big Vanilla Funny on IG, the Big Vanilla Funny on Twitter, and VJ Vernon, VEEJAYVERNON on Facebook. All right, let's get into some Breaks University stuff right here. This is probably one of my favorite segments because I love college sports so much. So real fast, new college football format is out. And listen, I'm a Barry Horowitz myself right now, and I know a lot of y'all don't know who that is, but a lot of you do. That's an old 80s WWF reference right there. And when he used to announce him, he used to always turn around and pat himself on the back. I'm going to pat myself on the back because last week I gave you guys the format. College football must have been watching. The NCAA front office must have been watching your boy, the Big Vanilla, because they almost hit it to a T. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. Long as they keep the lower seed, always has to play the higher seed. It's a legitimate tournament. It's a legitimate shot for the favorites to go through if they just continue to play. Listen, if you're a 1, 2, 3, 4, that means you won your conference. You won a conference championship, right? Okay, you probably can't fall on your face. Now, the only knockback is I think there's a 3-week mark between there and when you play your first playoff game. Normally, it would be from there to where you play your bowl game or there to where you play your semifinal CFP game. So that was the only drawback that I saw from it. But the rest of it I love. I told you all last week. I named the bowls. I told you the bowls they can keep. They kept every one of them. They didn't leave any bowl out that I gave you guys. So they'll do the quarterfinals. Then they'll do the semis. And then the national championship, which I love even more, is now been pushed back further into January, which means, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We get more college football later in January. Why would you say no to that? Now, there is another caveat. I do believe one of these quarterfinals or semifinals will fall in on a Saturday when the NFL starts doing their Saturday thing. But it's an easy fit. First of all, I'm sitting here with 2 iPads. My iPhone is off camera over there. I don't keep it up here because it vibrates, makes noise, and that's very unprofessional when you're doing sports talk TV, any type of television. But you can set up different devices. Man, a beautiful 65-inch crystal Samsung something that the house Raynell got for us for Black Friday. And I can sit there literally and watch 4 games if I set my iPhone. There you have devices. So even if there's a 9 a.m. kickoff for a noon Eastern time, which is normal in Los Angeles for college football Saturday, I watch a bunch of 9 a.m. Michigan games because they're 12 p.m. kickoffs back east. I watch a ton of Big 12, Texas and Oklahoma 9 a.m. games, like because they're 11:30 or 11 a.m. kickoffs as far as where they're situated, located in the country. So you can watch a whole day of college football and NFL football. How can you complain about that? The reason why I bring that up, because I did hear some complaints from some journalists yesterday that I do respect and appreciate their work and their contributions to the business. But I'm just like, oh, yeah, so poor us. Oh, my God, clutch your pearl. Poor us. I have to watch college and NFL for like 12 straight hours on a Saturday, where back east it's cold, it's snowy, it's sleeting, it's icy. You don't want to go outside. Even out here in LA, it could be a beautiful day, but it could be one of them 70-degree days. You just don't feel like doing much. You spent time all week with the kids. You picked up, you dropped off, you helped with homework, you helped with part. You did your part. I'm a dad, husband. I did my part. Saturday, 9 a.m. to like 8:30 p.m. of college and NFL, sign me up all the way. All the way. That's as good as some crabs back east. I'm going back east soon. I can't wait to give me some crabs. I get home, somebody got to take me to the wing spot. I miss mambo sauce. I need wings, mambo sauce, steamed spiced shrimp, some blue crab, and a go-go. I need to go to our club where they play, where there's a live band. I don't care what band, huck-a-buck, backyard, junkyard. When I come home, somebody hold me down. But when you look at this format, man, I love it. It works. Great job. Mwah. Kudos to the NCAA for doing it this way and bringing back NCAA football. I can't wait. I'm going to be scraping y'all. Y'all want me? Y'all know what it is? Big Vanilla Funny 17. Come get this work. I will pass, man. I don't play around with them kind of games. Shooters and stuff. Well, I'm not that good. I don't play that. I do the campaign. Like, I do the missions when I buy them games. I don't go online. There's 30 dudes online and somebody laying under a truck, somebody standing on top of a building with a damn jetpack on. This dude is hovering with over us. Like, how'd you get up? Like, never mind. I'll just play the mission where it's more realistic. All right, so moving on with Breaks University. I got to call somebody out right now. So I'm about to rant. I'm about to go off because I don't like him, and I think he's full of it. A lot of people think he's the greatest college coach of all time. I'm telling y'all are dead ass wrong. He's not the greatest college coach of all time. Mr. Snitch, a.k.a. Nick. Yeah, I call him Snitch because he be snitching. Saban is now going to join the college game day crew over on the Mouse. And recently, he's been very, very outspoken about the state of college football and what NIL has done. I told you Michigan sent his ass home because he realizes, yeah, Jalen Milroe's a good quarterback, but you got to have some more NIL money. You better get a better thrower of the ball or somebody who doesn't choke in a big game like that and gets an NFL-style defense if you want to win any more national championships. The reason why Nick Saban is pissing me off is because, Nick, you're faking, you know it. You know how the game goes. Johnny Manziel just sat on Shannon Sharp's podcast and just said that his dad was offered told Texas A&M, you give us $3 million, I'll make sure this kid stays here 2 more years. He's not lying and making that up. And when Shannon kind of bought, he goes, that's the way business has been going. Like, we know what's going on in college football or what was going on in college football. You got the better resources. You got the richer alumni. You can pay more players to come play. Let's stop acting like it's real fair and everybody's recruiting and everybody's doing it honestly and everybody's sleeping on recruits' floors and having steak and milk with their recruits and their families and stuff. Let's stop that crap because that's That's not the case. Money make this world go round on every single level of life. If you ain't got no money, you can't do a lot. That's the way the system is set up. Not saying it's right or wrong, but Nick Saban, you know damn well, kids don't want to go to Tuscaloosa. Y'all ever been to Tuscaloosa? I'm not dissing it. Beautiful small country town, but you're talking about all the best players want to come to you? Like y'all weren't doing the same thing. And when NIL kicked in and it leveled the playing field, guys like you, guys like Chip Kelly, tuck ass and ran. And I don't have no respect for that. So I don't know how great of a coach you really are. Because you're at Michigan State, you're okay. You're at LSU, but that's SEC, big money. The SEC has a saying that says, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Bye-bye. That's an SEC saying. So you were in LSU, and I'm pretty sure those people down there in Baton Rouge wanted to win. They'll get you any player you need. You have some beast guys down there. That's how you ended up winning a national championship. You go to Alabama, do the same thing. But let's not forget that what you couldn't do was save or even make the Dolphins an average NFL team. You can bully guys and you can coach that way in college and buy all the best players. And I'm not saying you can't coach, because you coached under Belichick with Belichick, you coached under Bill Parcells. I know your history. I get that. But this greatest coach of all time, and now you sit here running your mouth talking about the state of college football when you know damn well what you were doing. You try to tell on Deion, you try to tell on Texas A&M, and now you want to sit on your high and mighty horse. I wrote it down right here. He's an old brat. That's what he looks like. I can't win. I can't do it my way anymore. I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to talk trash about everybody else. I ain't get my way. Get out of here then. You don't want to be in college football no more? Bye-bye. But I'd be damned if you're going to go sit on TV and try to rip the game that you were winning in. Now the players get some money, and you tuck ass and ran. You and Chip Kelly. Peace. We don't want you here in college football if that's how you're going to handle your business. Sit on TV and do your job, but don't be snitching, man. That's corny. You tried that with Deion. Coach Prime let you know real fast. All right, man, that's the end of Breaks University. When we come back, I'm going to do something new that's never been done on the breaks before. We're going to do something called NFL VJ's Rapid Fire. Did I just go pew? All right, I'm sorry. That's coming up, man. Friday's edition of The Breaks. Y'all sit tight. We'll be back.
Hey, everyone. I'm Neko Gumike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Infanity Television.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. You more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chanel Gwimike, and you're watching Infanity Television. Boom.
Shout out Infanity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
What's really good, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to your Friday edition of The Breaks. I'm your host, VJ Vernon Husky. So let's wrap up with something new, man, that I started and created, man. We're going to call this the NFL rapid fire. It wasn't a lot of big things that happened this week in the NFL, but a lot of little cool things that went down. So I'm going to spit them at you. So first thing, man, the elephant in the room, the Chicago Bears own the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft that's coming up in 2024. They have a quarterback that I like a whole lot by the name of Justin Fields. And there's a quarterback that's coming out of University of Southern California out here in Los Angeles by the name of Caleb Williams. Shout out WCAC. He wasn't DeMatha or Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I believe. Sorry. It's like Gonzaga first before when he graduated, went to Oklahoma, then transferred from Oklahoma to USC. So DMV in the building. People think he's generational, can't miss, got to go number 1 overall. Excuse me. So recently, Justin Fields, and I don't think this is newsworthy, but I'm using this to get around to just talking about how I think it's a major mistake what the Chicago Bears are doing with Justin Fields. Justin Fields has unfollowed them on Twitter. He was on the St. Brown podcast, and he explained. I didn't mind the explanation at all. I get it. Sometimes in life, you need to unplug. I am a person that speaks very high about therapy, and there was a therapy experiment that I did with my therapist, or they told me to do, where I would unfollow or block certain people in social media and see what their reaction would be. And that would tell me a litany of the things over here. It's very psychological and philosophical type of move is when you're trying to, get in the brain, or you're just trying to release from life. And I think there is a little bit of, okay, you want to trade me? You're talking about trading me? All right, boom, I'm out. Like, okay, if you don't want me, like, I'm out. It's like when you're a guy, right? Or you're a girl, either or. When someone don't want you, be out. Don't try to force anybody to be with you. Don't try to force anybody to like you or continue to date you. If they tell you they don't want to be with you, you are better off just moving on and getting yourself into a better situation. I hate to see him leave Chicago because I don't believe that they've put a great supporting cast around Justin Fields. That matters at the quarterback position. I get really sick and tired of hearing guys talk as this. A guy came into the league and it was just all him. Pat Mahomes is the guy right now. I've said before, it's him and Andy Reid's league. We're all just living in it, hoping our team can have a magical run and a magical year and get past KC or beat them in the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl in the AFC. You got to get past them, whether it's the wild card, divisional, or the AFC Championship game. You don't have to go through Arrowhead. They just proved that this year. I hated to see it, but they did it. If they did it, then it is what it is. But you got to get through them to even get to a Super Bowl, right? So when Pat Mahomes got there, isn't he kind of lucky he got there with Andy Reid, right? Like, let's get real. Andy Reid, you mean the guy that's already been to a Super Bowl, took Donovan McNabb to a Super Bowl? You mean a guy that came and took over after Herm got fired, and they had some other coaches there in Kansas City. He comes out there and completely just turns the franchise around. He had Philly in, 5 straight conference championship games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that 5? 5 straight NFC conference championship games with Donovan McNabb and Westbrook, and they had T.O. there for a period of time also too. But before T.O. got there, they were getting the NFC championship games. So isn't it situational where these quarterbacks go? The Chicago Bears are a mess. Eberflus should have been fired, but he wasn't. So it's like, okay, you're going to trade Justin Fields, and then you're going to bring Caleb Williams, who you're telling me is generational, and you're telling me is can't miss, and you got to take him 1 overall, but you're going to dump him in the same place. That's like taking a filet mignon off of a plate and put it in on a different plate and then leaving that plate dirty and then taking a fresh filet mignon off the grill and setting it right back on a dirty plate. Like, it's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? You think this is enough to clean up this dirt and this dried up grease and these old onions and these old pieces of garlic and these old seasonings you got on here? You think that was a good idea to try to mix something nice and fresh, hot off the grill like Caleb Williams would be to an already dirty plate? When you could just clean up the plate with the steak that you already have and add some fresh vegetables, add some steamed asparagus to it, add a little, what did I put on the steakhouse? They put a little lump of crab meat with a little Hollandaise sauce on top of the filet over at Morton's and Larson's. Y'all eat like that? I eat like that. Time to time, it's expensive, but I do it at home all the time. But when you go out, they'll do that for you. Why not do that? Why not clean it up? Instead of just not throw that steak, well, give me another piece of meat, but we're going to leave everything on here. I'm just not with that, man. They need to treat him better, but I understand where he was coming from. The Raiders have a Mahomes rule. I like it, but I wouldn't have said it. That was my only thing about that with Antonio, with Antonio Pierce, the new head coach of the Vegas Raiders. The fact that he went out and said it, you're poking the bear. You're poking the bear. You really are. I'm not a don't poke the bear guy, but I'd much rather poke a black bear than a brown bear, and I'd much rather poke a brown bear than a big old mean grizzly. I'm not messing with a grizzly at all in any circumstances. That's like a great white or a tiger shark or a Burmese python. I don't want to play around with that at all, because the chances of if they chooses to engage with me, it's not going to turn out good for me. Also, too, Christian Wilkins, the Dolphins have announced that they are going to keep him, whether they franchise him out. The franchise is going to be $20 million. They need to decide what they're going to do between February 20th, which we already passed, and March 5th. But whether they sign him to a long-term deal or they franchise him, they have made it known Christian Wilkins will be in a Dolphin uniform. Franchise him. Take the $20 million and try to work the deal out next year and see what you can do with some other pieces that are needed there, especially at the corner position. All right, that's been this Friday edition of The Breaks. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man, getting the views up and showing your boy, the Big Vanilla Funny, some love. I love y'all back, too, man. Kiss and hug your loved ones. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see y'all next week, man. VJ Vernon Husky and Fanity TV. I'm out. Peace.